Anthony from the Echo Through Me channel. I guess that's how I'm going to have to open these from now on. But anyway, lost my train of thought because I accidentally hit start streaming instead of start. Okay, whatever. Anyway, today I'm going to show you guys how to properly set up OBS for live streaming and local recording. We have a video on the channel showing how to get your stream key and stuff off of YouTube, how to set up a stream within YouTube itself. I'm going to do a separate one showing how to do it on Twitch. But anyway, here we go. So I recorded this video a while back, but I didn't really feel comfortable uploading that on the new channel since I used a bunch of old channel graphics and stuff. So we're just going to do it this way instead. It's not going to be as nice, but the video's still up. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to get to my settings. So you can do that either from up here or right here. I'm just going to move OBS over here so it looks a little bit less annoying. I'm going to check my settings right here. So you're gonna be met with this when you first open up your settings. As far as the general page goes, the only important thing is the language. And you can also mess with pretty much anything else you want here. Probably won't change anything important. If it does, just reverse it. But yeah. Encoding, we're going to get back to this, but this is a pretty important page. This is where you're going to set your max bitrate and buffer size, as well as, encoder. And you're going to enable, or you're going to choose whether or not you want to use CBR and CBR padding and all that. And then also if you want to use a custom buffer size or not. And then, no. Broadcast settings is another pretty important page. You probably can't live stream without this page now that I think of it. But anyway, this is where you're going to choose your mode, either live stream or file output only. Now, if you're in live stream mode, as you saw when I first opened this video, is you still have the option to record without streaming when you're in live stream mode. So you don't technically have to change this, but I guess you can. And then down here you would choose your streaming service. We use YouTube because it's a little bit better, I guess, for some reason. You can also choose which server you want to use. If you're using Twitch, it'll give you a list of a bunch of Twitch servers, and you can choose whichever one's closest to you. For me, I think it's either Los Angeles or San Jose. I'm not sure. I don't know how to read a map. But yeah, and then here you would put your stream key. You should know where to get that. Like I said, there's a video on the channel already explaining that, so check that out. You can also choose if you want to auto reconnect or not. If you disconnect or whatever, it'll wait a certain amount of time before it auto reconnects you. I don't really keep that unticked. Don't know why it's ticked, but whatever. You could also choose a delay in seconds if you want to have an extra delay. I think YouTube already adds like a 15-second delay or something, or like a 30-second delay now, something like that. You can also tick this to minimize network impact. You can automatically save stream to file. So what that means is that while you're streaming, it'll record at the same time. So it'll basically save your entire broadcast into a file. So it gives a little bit more flexibility with editing highlights and stuff, more so than just downloading the stream off a Keep Vid or using the built-in highlight thing in the live control room. And then down here you can choose your file path for videos. I just have it sent to my default videos folder, and then I changed the file extension to MP4 instead of FLV. And then everything else I just keep the same. And then video settings is where you'd set your base resolution, and then also a resolution downscale if you want. Right here you can either choose a custom resolution or just use the resolution of your monitors. Both my monitors are the same, so I could pretty much just use either of these because it's 1920 by 1080. You could also choose if you're using a different video adapter, you would, obviously choose it there. Choose your FPS up or down. I think it goes to 60 by default, and then you can enable 61 to 120 in another menu. But anyway, moving on. Audio. This is another pretty important one. This is where you would choose your microphone, obviously. So your desktop audio device is obviously whatever your system sounds are coming off of. So game sounds, music, stuff like that. I don't know which one it is exactly. I don't think it's actually any of these. It's just default. I think I literally just named it default because it's easier to find. I'm not 100% sure though. I didn't actually set up this computer for myself, but wow, I'm bad at English. So yeah, I'm gonna set default because that's what it was on. So I'm keeping it on. And then my microphone, I'm using an MXL990 connected to a Scarlett 2i2. So I'm pretty sure most of you guys are probably tryhards using like Blue Yetis or AT2020s or something. So you would just choose that there. For me, I gotta force mine to mono because that's what you do with these types of mics for some reason. And then show only connected devices, just because it's a little bit just easier. Kind of gets rid of some like clutter on these menus. And then here you can choose a push to talk delay. So if you want to use push to talk, if you're weird like that, then you do that. That's in milliseconds. There's also a desktop boost, microphone boost, and mic sync offset, and all. This is in milliseconds, and then as well. And you can also play with these as you want, but I'm not going to. Hotkeys is if you want to use hotkeys to, obviously, OBS functions. Again, I'm not going to play with these. I don't really care to, but you can. It's pretty self-explanatory. This is also where you would enable push to talk and your push to talk buttons and your mic mute and unmute, and same for the desktop and stuff like that. Advanced, I wouldn't recommend messing with this too much. You can change this depending on your computer specs. I would just go online and look up a guide, or maybe on the OBS forums or on YouTube or something, since everybody's computers differ. Mine, I just kind of always kept it at this, even when my computer was pretty crap. So I guess take that as you will. Basically, I'll just go over my settings. I have used multi-threaded optimizations ticked. Priority class, process priority class set to normal. Scene buffering, it was just default to 700. I leave disable encoding while previewing unticked, and then I have allow other modifiers on hotkeys ticked. Doesn't really matter to me because I don't use hotkeys. My CPU preset is very fast. Encoding profiles main. Keyframe interval is set to 2 seconds because you get a little message if you don't set it to 2 seconds for whatever reason. And have this unticked. Encode in full range unticked. Allows 61 to 20 FPS entry in video settings. You can. I'm actually going to take it and play around with that. Audio, you could force desktop audio to use timestamps as a base for audio time. I leave that unticked, as well as use my QPC timestamps unticked. And then everything else just unticked down from there. And everything just kept as it is. Whoops. Everything in quick sync encoder, I just leave it. Oh, come on. I didn't mean to do that. Just skip over browser. Not important. Microphone noise gate. So this is if you're in a noisy room and you got a really bad mic, or you like to get up really close and breathe into your microphone. So you basically set this so the microphone just cuts off at a certain decibel range or whatever. So yeah, you can set your open and close thresholds, and then you can enable it here, and then play around with these settings if you want. Scene switcher is just a plugin I have to automatically switch scenes in like StarCraft 2 and stuff. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I'm going to go over this encoding stuff now. So basically what you're going to want to do is go to, let me pull it up right now. Right here. You're going to go to obsproject.com. And you're going to get up here to this help tab, just hover it and click estimator. And this is where you're going to input your computer specs. So for whatever CPU you have, I'm running an AMD FX 8350, I think, so I'm a pleb. And then you can choose what kind of graphics card you have. I have GTX 9 something. And then what kind of games am I streaming? I'm gonna do on this channel. I'm gonna do a lot of like MMOs, like World of Warcraft, a lot of Counter-Strike, stuff like that. But I'm also gonna be doing a lot of low motion, static action type games, like visual novels and stuff like that. So we're just gonna choose the most intensive one. And this is the kind of a tricky part for some people is it wants you to put in your upload speed in kilobits per second. So there's a bunch of different ways you can do that. It tells you to just use speedtest.net to do it. I guess you can, but I don't really see how accurate that is. I've never actually used it. So I'm gonna do a little bit of preparation here and just make sure that nothing unnecessary is on. Like I don't think this matters too much, but I'm basically not gonna have on anything that wouldn't be on while I'm streaming, just to see if that skews the test anymore. I use testmy.net mostly because of the nifty name, but also because it yields pretty accurate results I've found. So we're just going to test my upload speed. Well, that was quick, 2.4 megabits per second. There we go. That's wrong. So yeah, so now we're going to go to speedtest.net, like it says, and we're going to see what this says. Let's see which one's accurate, because I think we're paying for like 12 megabits per second or something like that, right? Yeah. Stuff I got to block out down there. We'll see. That might be wrong. I might just embarrass myself on camera, and I might also have to call my internet service provider because I'm too cool to say ISP. So let's see. This might be wrong. I'm going to say that right now because I know for a fact nobody in my area gets a download speed of 120, but who knows. There's also people in the other room like watching Netflix and doing stuff on laptops, so that might also affect this to some degree. But okay, this might actually be more accurate than testmy.net. I stand corrected. So yeah, use speedtest.net then, because apparently testmy.net is shit now. So there we go. I just completely slandered some website because it gave me weird test results. I'm so sorry. That was a joke. So yeah, I'm gonna block out all the stuff on the bottom here. But here we go. My uploads, okay, that's actually about right. So 12.05 megabits per second. So now we're gonna just Google this. I mean, if you don't already know, 1,000 kilobits per second is 1 megabit per second. So there you go. Just add it however you want. But we're just gonna just look professional on recording. We're gonna do this. We're gonna type it into Google and get the official results. So there we go. And as you can see, whoops, fuck me. There we go. Yep, there you go. 1 megabit per second is 1,000 kilobits per second. Okay, so there we go. Now I actually already figured out what my results were, because I was so caught up in trying to look cool. So there we go. 12.050. I apologize for that. My room is small. I gotta keep my microphone in an awkward place so I can't type properly. But anyway, this is the settings it's gonna recommend, or I guess the advice it's gonna provide. So for CPU advice, it says set downscale to 1.5 or 2.0 to achieve a lower resolution. Set FPS to 25. I just ignore this because I don't want to bother. I just leave my FPS at 30 and just leave it all as I showed you guys. I've been fine. If you see my streams, you can see that I've been fine. Obviously, if it becomes a problem for you guys, then you can obviously change it. But I'm just saying that I don't, and I'm the one making the video. So I guess that information's useful. I don't know. Game advice. It says to try to aim for the highest bitrate possible for high motion games. Use game capture if possible for maximum performance. Use window capture with arrow enabled if game capture is unavailable. That's cool. You can do that if you want, but I like to tab out and look at stuff a lot when I'm streaming, like in the middle of WoW queues or like waiting periods or something like that. In most games, I like to put chat up on screen or put Twitter up or just look at links people send me or something. So, but if you can't use monitor capture or whatever, just go for game capture or window capture. Network advice says my upload is sufficient for 720 or 1080p. It says enable CFR for compatibility with streaming services. Enable CBR for improved stream stability. And then this is the information I was actually seeking. It says recommended max bitrate and buffer size is 3500, which is what I have it set to anyway. So there we go. We can get rid of that. We could open our settings back up, and then if you haven't already, you can input that. So that's it. That's actually how you set up the settings bit of it. I'm gonna make a separate video showing how to actually set up the stream itself, like getting all of your cam overlays and stuff like that up. But we're not gonna do that right now. It'll be a separate video. I'll be back with that maybe later today or tomorrow. So yeah, there we go. Bye guys. See you later.